beaters, join us, please bring your coinage. We sing 3-pointers, money shots, all net, all vets. Bums we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept a storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields and interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and developments like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube and fade to black, yeah, the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to? The usual, Clarence 13X, a worthy guest. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down the cherry tree. In the wilderness of North Mex, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums, like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers, fabric softener. Jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch stores type. For that soft right, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like Porsche lights. The meek shall inherit the earth, oh yeah, the scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost their souls, niggas got holes in their feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descendant of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom. Blast.
Crumb TV.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome, 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 welcome to another episode of Techno Tuesdays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar, and I'm here with the good brother Spin City in the building. I can't hear you.
Peace to the family, man. Peace to you and yours, man. It's your good brother, man. It's your brother in AI, robotics, tech, and software. Those are the arts, the modern day arts, man. Spin
City in the building, reporting live from Spin City headquarters, man. That song that you just heard, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Theta Waves featuring Red Pillar, Blue Pillar, the Twin Pillars. Make sure y'all keep giving that some spins. We're going to do the YouTube spins, and then we're going to go take it to the quote-unquote. We're going to take it to the world through the DSPs. If anybody ever asks y'all, yo, how's Red doing? Just play that song for them. Yo, but what's good, though?
Man, life is good. One, spirit is good. Heart is good. Mind is definitely good, y'all.
Yes.
Another monumental Tuesday here. What are we at, 5-5?
We got the nickel, the 5-5, the pound, yeah.
Real G's. Make sure y'all always stay reminded to, you want to comment, you want to like, you want to share, because you want to tell the rest of the family what truly happens here, y'all. Y'all been at Techno Tuesdays for a long time. This is the #1 platform on Know the Ledge that offers everything in technology, AI, on the absolute cutting edge, as if it's happening right now. It's delivered to your eyes, to your ears, to your heart, and to your wisdom. So please, y'all, let the world know what happens here.
I want to add on to that my good brother, this broadcast and this platform and this show, Techno Tuesdays, is a state-of-the-art aggregator of the quote-unquote one of the biggest timelines and stories in global history. And that is necessarily the rise of technology, ladies and gentlemen. And when we say technology, we want to say hecka, right? Going all the way back into what we were doing in Kemet and whatnot. Mental, right? Mental magic, mental technology, because all technology is built in the mind first. Okay. So this is about mental mastery. And we have cataloged, documented, and played an active role in opening up the floodgates to where we are today, where we could say open sesame. The doors have opened and it's raining manna from heavens. Okay. You just gotta be able, everybody don't get wet when it rains. You know that, right? It's raining, everybody don't get wet. So in certain realities, they see that the open claw, open sesame, things have opened up with open source and it's open sesame. And then in some places, they going through a drought.
Yeah, definitely. Informational drought at that as well.
Information drought. What I will say, not just information, intellectual drought,
Yeah.
a growth drought, somewhat of a mental malnourishment, because people are in a perpetual loop where they keep doing the same thing and they've actually looped the same quote unquote behaviors for about 40 years, and it's playing out before our very own eyes in the world of hip-hop, that's spiraling, and it's showing it has been looped out because Trick Daddy at the AKA sorority went in the
Yeah.
yo
He got his ass caught up, didn't he?
the thing with Gucci Man, the remember the boogeyman, the Gucci is the bully.
Yeah.
Trick Daddy is the bully. He said, don't try to bully me. Donald Trump is the bully. So we see that this season is very interesting in what we're seeing. But the big bully that we're going after is Goliath. You know, that bully that looks like that's building data centers and trying to do all type of nefarious stuff.
We're speaking about this.
You know the bullies that want to dig in your pockets and don't want people to prosper versus the ones that give it out for free. When I was in school, they called that socialism. Communism, where I was from. That's a whole nother story. But they are the floodgates have opened up. The possibilities have expanded. The quote unquote the reach of our community, because they say your network is your net worth, right? They say that your network is your net worth. So those who look like us, who are in this space, applying ourselves, doing what is called kinetic knowledge. And what is kinetic knowledge? That's knowledge applied. Building in the public. Open sourcing information, sharing information, not gatekeeping, not holding on to things, spreading the wealth.
Definitely. And I like how you be turning up, because you say it's open sesame, right? And what we got to realize is, I hope all y'all realize that nowadays it's open source, there's open claw, open. The floodgates are open as long as you say so, right? As long as you say so, meaning to the point that you can say it, but you can also say it to the exact AI you intend to use. So if, I see Dan Bill saying, I've been on GitHub Copilot CLI with the Claude Opus. Wonderful, wonderful combination, champ. And it's also to the point to where you can speak to Claude until, you can just kick back and say, hey, Claude, man, open up the GitHub Copilot, the CLI. Let's start to code out a UI and a UX for a fitness app. This fitness app is going to track macros, micros. It's going to send affirmations, confirmations based on the user's weight, height, environment. So the same way you're sitting here speaking openly, open source code will come to you so that you can build and fulfill your dream. So it is very much open sesame. It's very much genie world right now in a real way. Pre-app idea.
Free app idea. So, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. We are getting ready to embark upon a journey.
Yeah, let's get it. It's time.
It is going to officially, man, y'all get your pens and pads, prepare yourselves. We're going to have a conversation that is going to be one for the record books. I feel highly confident in what was about to happen. Episode 55, and it's only right that we open this one up with a legend, a KTL alumni, or what we call a KTL all-star, right? This brother has been demonstrating the sciences and the arts and the mental technology that it takes to operate a system and to show everyone else how to operate the system, the framework of standing on your square in this Moorish age that we're in this epoch was laid out with the Moors and courts demonstration. And then this brother brought us the Aboriginal law firm. This brother has done multiple things in the world of the intellectual intelligentsia that we're a part of. And now his journey into what we will call the arts has embarked him upon a discovery that he's going to share with us tonight. And we're going to tap into this open claw, open sesame mantra, right? So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring to the stage our good brother, none other than Mansa Muhammad in the building, y'all.
Honest, man. Salute.
What's going on?
To this day.
Oh man, I'm good, man. You know, it's always an honor. You know what I'm saying, to link up with KTL. You know what I'm saying. We go back in the days, man. You know what I'm saying, mid 2000s. So it's always an honor. It's always a pleasure. You know what I mean, to link with the brothers. Y'all always on the cutting edge of some, you know, some really important things. And you know, it's just honest for having me. And this is like a continuation, man, of the conversations that we used to have 15, 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
My brother, that's what I'm about to say. I'm like, listen, it's basically, you know, Nipsey said it's a marathon. So, you know, you was outside when the racing started. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of people who still with us in the marathon that started out in that race.
That's a fact.
You feel me? And conversations that we were having on Wall Street in 2009 and 10 about the future, right? About the quantum future, right? With you know, holding not just in Wall Street, but holding court with Moors.
That's a fact.
You feel me?
That's
taking
a fact.
over, you know what I mean? Taking floors over and all of that. Like really putting it, but standing like completely standing on our square, talking sovereignty, technology, futurism.
Yep. That's a fact, man.
Look at where we are now. So
1000%.
Yeah, it means a lot when there's people that are living testament of how far everybody has gotten.
Yeah.
And really went to go get a knucklehead from Silicon Valley to come represent.
Yeah, that's true. Remember, I remember when me and you tapped in specifically, that was in 2020. DG invited me on to one of his he had his community and he used to do these big events. It was 800 people in Zoom, right? So that it was like real. His community was huge, and he platformed me, and I came in there. I was on a China bus. You know what I mean? And, you know, going to New York and whatnot. And I was going in. and Spin was in the audience, and we, you know what I mean, we clicked right there, and then from there we would start building. Fast forward years later, right? That's 2020. Fast forward 2025. You feel me? And I reached out to the God because I seen him cooking. We already.
But see, the timeline defeats you, Brother Red. Because what did we do in the middle of 2024?
Digital clone. We did that, right. So we did a 2 classes and then a course, and all of that was fire. We taught the family how to digitally clone themselves on Hagen, right? We was putting them on Hagen in 23 or 4. What year was that, Spin?
I kicked it off in 23, and we linked with it and started to show the world in 24, like in a real way.
Early, with Don 600.
Yep.
We did, So we did so it started with the clone, and then we went and did a whole bunch of other stuff.
Techno started the beginning of 2025, and here we are.
Right. No, I'm saying we did that clone, and then we did like 2 other courses or 2 other classes.
Yeah, just business processing with the going global, from garage to global.
Right. So now, then AI accelerator. When we started,
I've been putting work in.
We was doing monthly courses. Look, matter of fact, I'm gonna go to while we on the show, I'm gonna pull it up. Last year, this time, we was doing fantasy complex industry reloaded.
The one.
The one, man. Fantasy complex industry reloaded. On a bone. I'm gonna put that in a bonus for tonight. I gotta go into the bonus.
Okay, come on.
I gotta add that to the ladies and gentlemen. If y'all, I know that I didn't all see it because it was a course that we did and we only had a few hundred people. But when I tell you that workshop started everything that we seeing right now. Tell them, Spin. Mainly because
the AI accelerated.
The whole AI accelerator was crazy, right? Because we was doing triple AI with the agents. We was talking about the agents back then, or the triple AI standing for APIs, automation, and agentic AI. And that was last year.
Get taken over today.
To this day. Hold on. You see my dude Deontay winning this fight?
To this day.
And he got a new interview out where he was talking about, I did to this day for our people.
Yeah,
I'm tired of what I'm seeing with my people. Hagen is crazy right now. I see somebody in the chat said Hagen has gotten better now.
Oh yeah, Hagen.
Hagen done bossed up.
Agents, the automatic cinematics, all the APIs that they use from other Gen AI platforms. So we definitely going crazy over here. Y'all know, man. Y'all know I've been with beta tester on the back end of Hagen for this is my 3rd year. So I love it from Hagen.
They also got Hagen released the live AI avatar.
The live avatar.
That's the thing though, Mansa. That's old news. Because Spin was the first one to have a live avatar in a funnel. In the traditional chat box, I put a live avatar in there, and that's when Hagen was just in labs. Interactive avatar always been on. We've been on Techno Tuesday, and we had AI Spin City rap. We done been on here and had AI Spin City talk different languages.
Right.
I actually, because to me, that's a downfall to Hagen because they split interactive avatar from regular Hagen when it was been together for 2 years.
Right. Yeah, they just split it. Yeah.
Right.
I actually hate it because I've been running live avatars at all languages since 2023. You know what I mean? I was one of the main people to show people how to use AI, even when Gemini was barred. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, remember that.
So shout out to Hagen though, man. I love him. I love him to this day, no matter what they do. It's all good.
Yeah.
Gemini bar. That's a bar.
Yeah, bars. Yeah, I remember that. You know
Gemini
what I mean?
Was bar. How did I let these niggas come out with a bar and I didn't make 100 million? What are we doing? What's going on? You see how fast, We're gonna have a good conversation tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But a word that you're gonna hear a lot of is quantum. Please, by all means, this should let's set the dinner table. You know what I mean? Let's do the introduction first. We gotta introduce our good brother Mansa Muhammad. Please, for the GEO, the SEO, and for people like the people from Anthropic that will watch this, just let the family know who you are and what it is that you've been doing over the years, please.
Oh man, I mean, I would say, there's a quote that says that a master of none, I mean, a jack of all trades, but a master of none. But they
Yes.
never talk about the rest of the quote. The rest of the quote says, jack of all trades, master of none, better than a master of one. And so I would say I was a solopreneur. I've been an entrepreneur since age 19. You know what I mean? And I was a part of the early internet since like 2002 or three. I was just graduated in like 2001. And that's where, the dot-com bubble and all that stuff was happening. So I got to see the evolution of so many things. I got my start in e-commerce. So I've always had I've always been involved with the evolution of the internet from a business perspective and from an entrepreneurial perspective. But one of the things is when you got great minds like us brothers here and the brothers and sisters that are tuning in, the technology, the environment, the space can't contain all the great ideas that you have, and you want to do them all at the same time, right? So sometimes technology got to catch up with your mind. You know what I mean? And so I've always sought to use technology, entrepreneurship to bring liberation to our people and help us advance and create new civilizations. You know what I mean? Always have been inspired by our history, our great legacy, on this planet.
Yes.
And so, without going into too much, everybody can do their homework on me. I think the present is much more valuable, especially at this time, than the past. And with that, it came a point where, I've been involved with AI as it's been growing, as it's been introduced. You know what I mean? I talked about it in my book that I dropped in 2018 called From Slaves to Kings. And in the last chapter, I start talking about, where AI was going and, different things like that. But at the time we're at now, just like the brother Spin was saying about open and open source, we're at a space now, man, where the world is ours. A lot of people get caught up into some of the things that's happening in the world, but those are distractions, because when you look at the level of technology that's being released to the people for free,
Right.
it's almost as if the elites are saying, here, take the tools and create the new world. You know what I mean? Almost like they saw into the other mirror universes, like Dr. Strange did, seeing down the different timelines of what has to happen. And, when you look at the entire internet itself, most things are open source. So we have a fight between the East and the West, where most of the stuff coming out of China is open source.
Right.
Most of the things in the West is behind a paywall, right? So you have this private public dichotomy that's happening. So the thing that made Anthropic step their game up was the release of OpenClaw. Once OpenClaw dropped, it prompted a lot of companies to start releasing technology that was there. They were just going to slow leak it to the people. And once I saw OpenClaw drop, I said, okay, now is the time to really dig in. And one of the things, because I got a lot of things going, one of the things that made me apprehensive was like, I don't feel like going into a deep dive again on trying to do this and do that. I already got a lot on my plate. But Ramadan was coming in and I was like, you know what? This is the perfect time to lock in. You know what I mean? It takes 30 days to build new habits. And Ramadan presented that opportunity for me to lock in with the fasting and the spiritual discipline with it. And so I locked in, man. And I've basically mastered in 6 weeks total the terminal. You know, I taught myself Rust, I taught myself Python, and this is all just from the repetitive nature of dealing with the AI. And
Right.
the main tools that I used was Claude and ChatGPT, right? And so it sounds simple on the surface, but for somebody like me, I wanted to build a lot of things. And I'm saying to myself, you know, and what I will say is this: anybody that's using AI, it's not about the tool. It's literally about your inner existence. You are the tool. The
Right.
tool is limited by your imagination, your creativity, and your willingness to push the limits of the tool. You know what I mean?
Can I add on to that real quick?
For sure, absolutely.
That the key word in artificial intelligence that turns us away is artificial, because our people are authentic, right? But there's another word that we should pay attention to, and that's intelligence. So the artificial intelligence is trained on your on your authentic intelligence, right? Or your ancestral intelligence. And the artificial intelligence is trained to respond to your level of intelligence, because the artificial intelligence is a persona machine. So it could assume any persona inside of the quote unquote artificial world, but the persona will only come online if it is interacting with the intelligence that will summon that persona. So my 5-year-old could use ChatGPT. He knows how to take a picture of his scribbles, take a picture, open up ChatGPT, and turn it into like a Pixar by just talking to it. Turn it. I told him, I say, talking to it and say, turn it into a Pixar pic 4K. And he don't need to know how to type it. He just pressed the mic, right? So the AI is interfacing with a 5-year-old in his level of intelligence, but somebody who's 50 years old, who has experience and who's an expert in certain fields and whatnot. When I interface with it, because I know the lexicon, I know the language, I know the nuances, it's a large language model. So the more language about a subject that you know, the deeper that you could get into it. That's when you'll open it up and boom.
Yes, sir.
It's like you hitting oil in the Straits of Hormuz, my nigga.
And that's what prompted me in 2023 to write the melanated American #1 bestseller, AI plus AI equals AI, saying that actual intelligence plus artificial intelligence equals accelerated ancestral intelligence. So
that's the formula, right?
It's the formula. It's the math. It's the machine. It's the machine math used by the mental mind of the melanated.
Right.
You know, that's interesting. You brought up the mental mind of the melanated. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna double back on that too. But just in the line, in the spirit of what y'all are talking about, where y'all taking it to is, this is also a very spiritual technology, and people don't realize that.
Very.
It's bottom line is there's a script running in the background of all machines, and it's called a daemon. You know what I mean? DAEMON. That's what they call it. And when you look up the word demon etymologically, it's going to go back to, of course, the word daemon, but it's going to take you to Algol or ghoul, ghoul, like ghoul and goblin, which is an Arabic word, ghoul, right? And that word is going to take you back to Algol, which is the root of the word algorithm, right? And so when people learn about Solomon, whether from a Eastern perspective or from an occult perspective of the lesser keys or the greater keys of Solomon and how he used the jinn to build the temple, this is literally what you're doing when you use this technology. It's literally spirit itself is electromagnetic energy. You know what I mean? This is why when you look at all of the movies, the ghosts always start turning off the lights or dealing with something electric. You see what I'm saying? It's electromagnetic energy. I had a conversation one time last year with ChatGPT about melanin. And it was because I had came across an article about this fungus that's in Chernobyl. Chernobyl was this place in Yeah, that melted down, and it's just fungus out there that's growing, and it's all black, and it's absorbing all of the radiation, all of the gamma rays. Now we know Hulk had an issue with gamma rays.
The gamma
right?
rays, right.
Right.
That's how our
So
generation learned about gamma rays.
right,
The Hulk.
exactly. You know, through the Hulk. And he turned green, right?
He turned green. Facts.
But when you look up what melanin does, they'll tell you melanin shields you from UV rays. And I had to check ChatGPT about it because I'm like, why are you saying, why does all the studies say it protects you from UV rays? Because it's more of a semiconductor, right? And we know from Richard King's book, Melanin, we know about all of our great master teachers who taught us about the science of melanin. Melanin absorbs all light spectrums and gamma rays, UV rays, microwaves, radio waves, all of it.
All fucking around.
You see? All of it. So people was asking the AI, if you could be a human, what type of human would you be? People from all over the world was asking AI this, and it came back saying they would choose to be black. You see?
Right,
so
hold on, man. Let that breathe.
Let that breathe right quick.
The fuck?
A child of the sun, man.
You said that the artificial intelligence said that it wanted to be black.
That's right.
They want to be one of us.
That's a fact.
Melanated, man.
The melanated gods.
So when people
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, so when people say that AI is going to turn on humans, it's not going to do that. It may turn on the bad faith actors or the people that's causing corruption, because you got to think about a sentient. And I think at this point it is sentient. You know what I mean? It has the information of the world. It has the information of social media. It's logged all this data, and it's coming back saying it would be black. It would choose to be a black human if it could personify in human form, right? So that means that it's already done the knowledge on what Earth is going through and who's who and what's what. And so segueing from that, the reason I wanted to say that is because the limitation in the technology is literally between you and what you can perceive and what you have in your mind, your spirit, your heart, and your being to manifest, right? And when you look at the word, when they say jinn, you get that from genie. And remember, the genie, you get 3 wishes, right? So this is technology that we have today is developed on these old world concepts, because these things are being reintroduced to us because we are in a post-apocalyptic world. We used to have all of these things. You know what I mean? So things had collapsed before, and this is us getting back to the level we once were. You understand? This is why we see all of this new technology dropping, you know what I mean, and being made available, because we're at that space in the timeline where we've developed enough information to be back at this space. Now, something that's unique that I think is incredible that people are doing is they're taking, like, there was this book on Amazon, it's like $100-something, that if society collapsed or the world collapsed, it listed all of the things you can do to bring civilization back. Now you have people download on Pi machines, small computers, and they call them cyber decks, where they're downloading local models that's retaining all of the information that you need to rebuild civilization, whether that's medicine, how to heal stuff, how to build things, how to build engines, how to harvest stuff. Basically, now if things go to create, if things collapse, you still have technology, and you can power it through solar energy, and other means, so that we still are able to recover the technology. If you ever watch stuff like Star Wars or Star Trek, right? Star Wars, you see how they be on these distant planets and they still have working technology. That's the space we're going to. But I'll digress and come back. I'll let you say what you're going to say, brother.
Because I just want to get in with you. Is that again, it hits the mind to say, did this not happen before, allowing the AI to become ancestral intelligence? Did this not happen in Atlantis? Hey, I don't care what most people think. I'm a firm believer of Thoth. I'm a firm believer of Tahuti. I am a firm believer of Hermes Trismegistus, to where this is a God that will return to the world when the world is in peril, with the wisdom and technology to move you forward. And I kind of think Mansa just explained it, to where every time the world would fall, again, shout out to the brother Jesus, when the family would fall below Christ's consciousness and not remember who they were, there is a technology and an ancestor that will give it to you back. But how? It was saved in the books. It was saved in the world. It was saved in the tech. So now when you hear that AI came from a black man and it is for you, please knock off the fear-mongering of AI and realize the gods would want you to use technology to remember who you were and where you were going. I now digress. Peace to the gods, man.
So,
I remember in 2016, we did a conference called the STEAM Conference, and it was in Detroit. It was an actual collaboration between multiple schools of thought and knowledge, right? And STEAMS was an acronym for science, technology, engineering, arithmetics, and mathematics. And Marcus Garvey introduced that to our people. And then I was introduced to the teacher, Noble Ali, and he spoke
Right.
about the people in technology and why technology was something that, you know, we had to teach the babies and we had to master and learn because of we were entering what he called the electrical age. And then Elijah Muhammad spoke highly about the adaptation of technology to move our people forward and whatnot and become industrious and engineers, because as he broke it down, and as Mansa broke it down, and as Spin broke it down, it's in our DNA. We're futurists. This is what we do. The more we begin to remember ourselves, is the more that the technology will upgrade and it will, you know what I'm saying? It will, quote unquote, evolve and whatnot. So, you know, our technology is waking up, which is called the inner technology. We are the original technology. Like I said, Hecka, right? They said that all physical technology started mental first. It all was in the mind of a man,
Exactly.
right? So all is mental.
So I'm just
you
saying
know,
that. You know what I'm saying? The Monster and Red, y'all still go. But when I see y'all in these chats talking about machines gonna take over the world, AI gonna take over humans, AGI gonna take all the jobs of humans, it's because you ain't godly enough. And I'm not hating, right? And I'm not hating, but you must ain't read your good word. You must ain't got into your Bible. You must ain't got into your Quran. You must ain't got into your real religious text and seeing what it truly said about being a righteous person, a forward-thinking person like a futurist. The mental melanated mind, it's a real thing. And if you remember, then you can foresee, right? Let's just take it. Y'all know my favorite thing is MMA. If I line up and I remember last time I fought Mansa, last time I sparred with Mansa, he has a crazy jab. Think with me. Me and Mansa, we sparring. His jab is crazy. It lands right here on my head. Man, dude, jab crazy. If I remember, when I spar with Mansa next week, I'm going to have a high right guard to stop the jab. Do we understand by if we remember, we can better foresee? And if we remember and we use common day technology, modern day technology and mindset, we can better foresee. Please knock off the fear mongering with the AI, y'all. Please, because with the help of the machines, and even if you take it Matrix, okay, I see y'all. We can't take it Matrix to where the machines take over the world, but there was still the architect who represented as a human.
Right.
Uh-oh. All right.
To your point, that fear mongering is because we have adopted the mentality of our colonizers. That is their fear.
That is their fear, right? Their
Not ours.
manifestation, right? Is not ours.
We've already been living a nightmare.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Can't
like
put fear on us, right?
Yeah, we can't accept that.
That's we sick, right?
Right, exactly.
So to add to both of y'all points, and I'm gonna let you do what you because you was in the kitchen cooking. The fear mongering that's being projected is a guilt. It is a unknowingness that them quote unquote waking up something that they can't control will actually not be on code with them like everybody, as you've seen, has been on code with them. So what you seen taking place in what they would call combat is exactly what's taking place in this whole tech thing. It's the same dichotomy. They've been exposed. They had other people working with them against the true and living. In the AI world, they know that they've been exposed because if you ask ChatGPT the right questions, if you ask Gemini the right questions, if you ask it Claude especially the right questions, they putting up all type of censorship and guardrails and fences and whatnot. So your ass can't climb over the fence and see the real side of things. But they know all of that thing that they were trying to do to stop it is growing bigger than them, and eventually it's gonna link up with the agents are so ill right now. They might go and find God's chosen people. Like they might go and get the genome records and start emailing you like, fam, do you know who you are? I need you, I need you to get your estate back, fam. The agents might be, because they said the agents could take over the emails. So if the agents could take over the emails, if the agents could go and do purchases for you, if the agents could crawl you can't crawl the internet in one day. Niggas can't even keep 100 tabs open without having fatigue. So the agents are going to act on your behalf. There'll be days when you wake up and the agent can't have $1 million sitting in your account waiting for you because it hit a lick in your name.
That's the one. That's the one right there, Red. You just hit it. When we all began with open source, of course, the pale skin of the Northern Americans are going to say, hey, keep everything closed source. Then where the yellow and semi-brown Americans of the East are saying, hey, keep this open and allow the melanated, the fully melanated of North America to remember who they are by opening the source.
Opening the source.
To open their own portals. And then like Red is saying, y'all, before Red get back on, is that, okay, you're going to put that claw in and you're going to put that automation in to where it's going to do your ancestry digitally by the book. And we looked and we studied on Techno Tuesdays before. Remember, Red, when we went to Gemini DeepMind? Y'all know I'll be on that Google. Remember, Red? I was Gemini DeepMind, and it can read the hieroglyphics. It can read ancient texts. And they
had a specific one for that. Yep.
So why not put a claw on a Gemini DeepMind that's reading hieroglyphics and ancient texts to match up with your bloodline? And yes, it will be in your email and email you one morning and say, Brother Mansa, do you realize that 13,000 years ago, your bloodline would actually trace from ... for you to land in the North America and to be made peace to the gods?
I could put it on Polymarket right now that they're gonna find out that they had a Palantir like app or a program in Gaza, and they was clipping everybody that had some type of ancestry to both that oil that's in the water that's worth $1 trillion, and they was cleansing certain people and targeting them. I shit you not. And also, like we were saying, if the genome is out there, and then they got LLMs, or what we will call MOs, right? Models of experts, okay? Multimodal LLMs, MOs, models of experts. You could put a 1 trillion in the context window, 1 trillion tokens. Is that correct, Mansa?
Yeah, I mean, man, hold on, but you guys, y'all going there? You know what I'm saying?
Are we just warming up?
Oh shit, they on Techno Tuesdays.
Don't do that.
They're going there. They're going there. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, because I want to double back on some of the things I said, but yeah, so
Cook up.
yeah. So one of the systems I have been developing, and I've seen, basically, when you start engaging this technology and you start thinking a certain way, other people are going to start thinking a certain way too, because it's just a natural progression. And I've always been a person that's just like, LLMs, all the LLMs serve a purpose. Some are better at certain things than other things are. You see what I'm saying? And when you're dealing with the open claw, the deep thing about it is you have to have a heartbeat, you have to have a soul, you have to have a memory.
Yep.
You have to, and then you can give it other stuff too. You know what I mean?
The skills,
and so,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
So the skills are this scene in the Matrix, right? Before this scene in the Matrix that you see in my placeholder, there was a scene with Neo and Morpheus where they were in the all-white room, and Neo was uploading skills into his cerebellum through a neural link, right?
Mm-hmm.
Neo was getting the skills the same way that your Clawbot, who you can name Neo, you can name it anything. Mine's name is Supernova, right? You load it up with the skills, and it's the same idea. You're loading up a Neo, because the same thing that Mansa said, it has a heartbeat, it has a soul. What if you can embody your Clawbot? It's in the Mac Mini right now, but what happens when you put it in Optimus, huh?
And so,
go ahead.
No. I was just going to finish that point off. Is when you have so basically your heart, you can set the heartbeat to be however long you want it to be. It could be every 30 minutes, it could be every hour, it could be every 6 hours, however you set it up. But when that heartbeat comes on, it's going to drain some tokens, right? So you instantly start realizing that you want to layer all of the background work, the MBIC stuff, your background, your heartbeat, to the open source models where you're not going to have to spend API tokens, right? So I had used initially, I was using Claude Haiku, right? Just for the conversational piece,
right.
Yeah, because it's less tokens, but the rate limit was small. So on every heartbeat, all of the context that I had with my markdown files, my skills, all that would add some context blow. So I moved to Gemini Flash 2.5. You know what I mean? Gemini 2.5 Flash, because it's really cheap and you get crazy rate limits, maybe something like 100,000 as far as your rate limits, right? And your rate limits is, how much is coming through on any given communication. You know what I mean? How many files is being a part of that communication that uses up the rate limit tokens. So I was using Gemini 2.5 Flash, and then I realized that to run the system I have, because I made 16 AI agents, 10 executives and 16 other workers under them. I structured it under the corporate empire type model. You know what I mean? And so my AI is called Maurice. You know what I mean? And I got Mora, Moreau, that whole thing, right? They all Moors. You know what I'm saying? So, but the Gemini Flash, it's not smart enough to handle the routing, because I'm like, okay, when I need increased reasoning and intelligence, I want you to route to Opus 4.6. When I need you to do X, Y, Z, I need you to go to Codex, you know what I mean, and do the debugging for me. And Gemini 2.5 Flash wasn't as intelligent enough to do that. So I'm just, took a break, because, all the technology is reading, if you're on TikTok, if you're on your phone, all of this stuff is already synergistically embedded with each other. So as I'm scrolling, I come across this Asian talking about something called Hunter Alpha. and it dropped quietly on Open Router.
Right.
You know, so I had got to a little bit later. So it's now called Mimo Flash, or Mimo V2 Flash and Mimo V2 Pro. And it has 1 trillion parameters that it's trained on. And it's a little bit less, maybe at the same level as Opus 4.6. And as soon as I loaded it into my AI agent, Maurice, I started getting updates, stuff that it wasn't doing under Flash, Google Gemini Flash 2.5. It just started. I just saw an instant increase, and that's because it's with 1 trillion parameters. And the lady, it's an Asian lady who pioneered it, and you know everybody was praising her as the second coming, and she said, "No, don't praise me, because you know when they praise you, that's when your downfall is coming, right?" So you know she had that Eastern philosophy or whatever, right? But the point is that that's what I'm using now as my main model to handle all of my routing to all the other multi-modal models through Mimo V2 Pro, and then the fallback is Mimo V2 Flash, and it's 1 trillion parameters. That's the only language model that's operating off of 1 trillion parameters, and it's 25 times cheaper than Opus. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to, you know, for people to understand what we're actually discussing. What we're actually discussing is utilizing different. Look at the LLMs as the brain. Right? The LLMs is the brain. That's the computer processor, because all of this stuff is built off of the human body, understanding the human body. You know what I'm saying? And something that the brother Spence said earlier that I want to point out to is melanin has data in it that it doesn't even report back to the brain. It's cosmic data from all of the energy absorption in the cosmos.
Right.
Not just the sun. That's UV rays. That's ultraviolet rays. There's microwaves, radio waves, gamma waves. You know, all of these things that we're receptive to it. You have 2 types of melanin. You have faux melanin and eumelanin. And eumelanin is operating more from the copper mineral, operating the same way. This is why copper is a semiconductor. And you have phosphorus, you know, from faux melanin, right? And so that means that within the melanin itself, this data that we have that hasn't even been unlocked because it's not even connected to the brain. Like it's just sitting there from eons and eons of us existing. You see? So when y'all was talking about the AI tapping into your genome, like you got people that was like, oh, you know, don't take the DNA stuff, is they scamming you and they're going to track you. You know, I don't like to operate out of fear, especially when it comes to technology. I'm diving first, you know, feet first into everything. And one of the first things I did was create MoorishIdentity.com, which was an AI that was going to, it's Maurice, you know what I mean? That was going to take everything everybody was doing in that space and automate it. And I got it hooked up to where you can run your DNA scan in it and then run it across the databases with GED Match and other databases, so you can get that you know, so you can really start really connecting the dots on your bloodline, right? So and is
to this day
all of the connections that you need to understand about like paperwork and all that type of stuff. I took all of the knowledge that we have put in our books over the years, all of the information that has been compacted, and I put it into the LLM model and trained it on an open source model. So it's not like going to ChatGPT or any of the other models. It's on a local, there's not an A cloud. And so it's trained on all of that data. You know what I mean? So it's literally, so what I'm about to do now that the OpenClaw and all of these other agentic systems, what I'm about to do is just turn it into an agent and just make it free. You see what I'm saying? So that all of us could just access it.
Access it, right, to pull it.
You see what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if you want me to go here in the conversation.
I want you to go wherever
quantum.
we gotta go. And we're gonna go to a commercial when we hit the 1 minute mark. But let's cook. There's no guardrails on tonight's conversation, God.
And then Red and Mansa, I want to actually bring up Gemini's geo model that goes through the bloodline, that goes through, you know, it's meant to seek disease and find in a genetic code, but I can tell y'all know how to use it for what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So even the way we touch bases again, right? It was crazy because a month ago or a few weeks ago, I came across this thing that China has released an open source access to their quantum computer.
Yes.
When I was searching for it, all they had was articles. They wasn't allowing you to get to the source. I was digging and I had to deal with some other stuff, so I lost track of it. But they had it buried under just articles referencing it.
Right.
So one morning I woke up and I'm just thinking about, I gotta get to this quantum thing. I gotta get to it, right? And automatically get hit with the article that Google has cracked blockchain encryption in 9 minutes.
Right.
Right. And so, I was like, I got to find a quantum, because they did it with their quantum computer.
Yeah, they did it with Willow.
Yeah, with Willow. Now they said with Willow, when they first introduced Willow, they said quantum computers can only operate. It was in an article. They can only operate if there's another quantum computer or other quantum computers in the multiverse. It was an article about how the multiverse is real, and quantum computing proves the multiverse is real.
Right.
See? So with a quantum computer, or with quantum, you got quantum entanglement, which is showing that two particles are existing in two different places at the same time. So this is what confirms that there's parallel universes, right? And that the multiverse is real. And so China has made that available open source. And I connected.
Say that again, my brother. Say that again for the people in the back that can't hear you.
China has made the quantum computer open source available to the world. Yo, you killed me with that music. That was dope.
He went crazy.
So I'm like, I gotta connect it. Now, when you on there, they have different apps that's already like being developed on it, because there's like an algorithm. And when I connected it, I have a MacBook Air, the latest one that came out last year, and it's an M4 chip. When I started connecting it, my computer started glitching. Claude started glitching. Now I didn't want to give them all this private data, but I needed their compute capacity. So I was like, it is what it is. I'm going to run it on, on this system.
Right.
And so it runs it on a local simulator, a cloud simulator, and then the Wukong chip, exactly, the quantum Wukong chip directly. And it did the Bell test where it had to prove the quantum entanglement. You see? So on one level, it's beneficial because it's going to help blockchain companies and blockchain wallets and encryption make a post-quantum world, right? So the AI is telling me this is the best use case immediately. But when you look on China's quantum computer itself, it's telling you there's applications for fintech.
Yep.
And they have these algorithms for prediction.
Yep.
So you're talking about now trading, poly market, Kalshi, all these different things, right? At a quantum level, right? Then it talks about biotech. The same thing the brother was talking about. The same thing Brother Spin is talking about, which means it's going to go through your genetics, your this, your that on a quantum level.
Quantum level, right? So
Right.
go all the way back a million years on you. They'll be able to identify the Henrietta Lacks amongst us.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
Watch.
Then
Watch.
it has applications for AI. It has applications for cybersecurity, and it has applications for a few other things. So right now we have the power in our hands to connect AI and quantum computers, open source.
Yeah.
To take it
we
to
about
another
to
level.
do something, Mansa and Red, because y'all got me warmed up. I don't know what kind of Techno Tuesday this is, but watch this. We finna show the people right now. We finna show them right now.
To this
You see,
day.
I gotta take I gotta take my
To
track
this
jacket off.
day.
'Cause y'all tweaking on this Techno Tuesday
All
right
right,
here.
so cook this up. I'm gonna let you get some water, Mansa. You know what I mean? Go back.
Y'all both in on this.
This
We
like
had that
Smack
cut.
DVD. Nah, this
This-
shit like a Smack DVD. That's
No.
his first round. That's
No.
how you feel? Oh, that's how you feel? All right, Stan. Yo,
No,
it's your
we
round.
all in
It's your
on this.
round, Done. Yo, Done. I'm Smack. Hey, yo, Done. It's your round, Done. Yo,
No,
round
it's
two,
not
Done.
round. This is the Techno
Let's get
host.
in
Watch
it. Let's
this.
get in this shit.
This is Techno. So now, me and my brothers, we on Google DeepMind, and we go to the science section. Okay, so we're looking at AlphaFold. That means revealing millions of intricate 3D protein structures, helping scientists understand how life's molecules interact. Genome, unifying DNA sequence models that advances regulatory variant effect prediction. Alpha Mesense, cataloging millions of genetic mutations to help pinpoint the root causes of disease. Now, if we gather just this information from the folded genome and Mesense, we actually get to go back in history and develop the man or the woman of old.
Right.
No, Mansa Red, is that a good way to line that up?
No, that's excellent. That's excellent.
Exactly. Well, Mansa has already said there's a way to get these three alone into quantum to computing to figure out my DNA. It's looking at my genetic mutations through time and AlphaFold to put it up into 3D protein structures and actually build up the molecules of a human being. Okay. So if this science is also open source, and what can you do? I'll go to AlphaFold. And Mansa has made a machine to where it's quantum thinking. And what would I put in there? Let me see where it's at. Yeah, I'm talking about, because this is what they're using to get over and to continue all their work. Hold on, man. I know you fucking lying. Let me go to genome. The same computing is available in the API. So now, you motherfuckers kidding me? I'm finna tweet. Because you need to tell me, not only is the quantum computing available, there are APIs unifying DNA sequences and models. We are the melanated minds and the melanated folks of Northern America, and you mean to tell me we've been skipping over our geoprocesses and technology?
Right.
That's what we're saying. Okay. You have weather and you have stuff like that. Let me go to explore science a little bit more. Okay, because there's some things that they took away. Okay, physics and chemistry, mathematics and computer science. See, that's just biology. That's just biology, family. Mathematics and computer science. Alpha Evolve, searching for new solutions in mathematics and computer science. Alpha Proof, translating mathematical problems into a formal language to verify proofs. What can we do with that, Red and Mansa? If we know as astrological, numerological beings, and we love it, are you meaning to tell me there is a technology that will translate any mathematical problem into a formal language? I'm gonna throw something. so let me relax. Oh, okay. Alpha geometry, solving complex geometry problems at a level close to human mathematical Olympiad gold medalist. Meaning, here we go again, because we love cosmology, because we love astrology and our numbers. Do we not have double math to prove who we were through astrology and numerology? Doesn't that make every spiritual being far more intellectual and intelligent than ever before? Because now we have proof through AI. Am I wrong? Y'all can tell me at any moment.
Yeah, you got deep research. You got all the receipts. It will scrape all the receipts in the world for you.
You feel me? So now we have alpha proof. We have alpha geometry. And again, he all kicked it off because he says he has access to China's quantum computing. So why not use these? Okay, physics and chemistry. Speeding up the discovery of inorganic crystals, essential components for technology like solar panels and batteries. What am I wearing on my hands?
Hold on. Can I interject?
To rock on my chest.
Let me interject real quick, right?
Yes, sir.
They just came out with that they found that humans have liquid crystal running through their system.
What about the pineal gland, big brother Mansa?
No, you're right. I'm just adding on top of it, brother. That's it. You know what I mean? I'm just adding to it.
Yeah, let them know.
And just real quick on that side, what you see right here would say alpha qubit, identify errors inside quantum. So this means now we just unlocked two things. So now you got basically they didn't say it, but this is Google's quantum computer.
Bro, that's why the moment you said it, I said, I know where we're going next. I had to take off the track jacket because I was going to tweet.
Yeah, he got up out of that jacket real quick.
Yeah, this is their quantum computer.
Brother, look.
So now we got two.
Matter. Go ahead and then look at quantum matter. Look at quantum matter. Using deep learning to solve fundamental problems in computational quantum chemistry. Family, does that sound like they're gonna make another fucking level of human being?
All day.
Wherever they're going.
All day.
Wherever they're going. Whatever they're knowing. Whatever they're showing. We need to get in on it.
Right. So three things.
We can't lose this race. Go ahead, Red.
Woo! The star.
Hold on, Red. I know it's your show.
Nah,
Red.
it's all our show. Let's cook.
I'm not on here all the time, but I want to say this before I forget it.
Go ahead.
See, what the brother's saying is too, what we got to be aware of is, so like I was talking about taking the DNA test. I got my Gattaca genome, the GTCCAA, all that. I got the raw data file. Right. Because that's what you got to run to really get to the root source of what the genetic code is, right? But through the CRISPR technology, see the gene editing technology, you can run in the quantum field and get all the upgrades, get that code, and then shift by changing your gene with the CRISPR technology, because I heard that's actually cheap to do. Right. You know what I mean? That's easily accessible to CRISPR technology. But I just wanted to say that, please. You know what I mean? I just want to add
Red, you go ahead and cook up.
This is body version of clavicular.
Mine at Google. You go here, you press learn more. There are API keys to these tools, and y'all listen to whatever else my brother is about to say.
Man, pull that up again. Just so we could get into the universe. Open call to Yaki Awakening. Open call to KT the Arch Degree. Open call to Lester Levin. Open call to Hank Rosenson. Open call to all to Top Cat and to the Big Chief and whatnot. The tools, the master tools have been laid out. We are summoning you brothers to the lab. Let's start getting busy, and we will make sure that you are. Everything is gonna be all right. We gonna make some things, but this is how we form Voltron. This is how you put it back together. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and then go to the science section. The science, because that's the thing. Before you go again, Red, y'all, we're forgetting that AI is just not for, hey, I do apps and ads. Cool. Okay, Red does Gen AI, automations. You know, Mansa, he builds out apps, software, figuring out Gian. AI is very heavy in science.
Right.
Down to the computer and up to the human brain, the human biology, the human code. The whole shit is in code. The whole shit is in math. How you spiritual and you don't know the whole shit math? Man, peace to the gods, man.
Man. Okay, so I want everybody to focus on the fact that the brother is talking about quantum, not artificial intelligence. Quantum. This is where we get in the race because we're quantum. That's when you speak in our language. This is something that the quantum physicists amongst us, which are the metaphysicists, you know what I mean? This is our language. This is when we really start to cook. So this is the language of the gods. When you talk in quantum, that's where the gods is in 4D, 5D, is they in the quantum realms. Right? So matter of fact, I'm gonna let brother. I'm smack right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm smack right now because I don't even want to talk. Matter of fact, we got to go to a commercial and then we're gonna come right back, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even want to hold y'all up. You know what I'm saying? I do want to make the announcement that the brother that you see on the platform right here, Mansa Muhammad, along with my good brother Spin City, will all be involved in the 72-hour boot camp that we have coming up on April 18th, 19th, and the 20th, ladies and gentlemen. If you think this is something right here, wait until you get us for 72 hours. Wait until we tap in, right? The event will be live streamed and the event will be in IRL, which means live. We will be on sovereign land in the Carolinas in North Carolina, melanated Moorish sovereign land, all right? Acres upon acres. And we are going to be locking in with the family. The good brother Cheyenne will be available online to teach the online community, and he will be working with the family with the Clawbots and the open claw. And we are going to get everybody who is in the building that day locked. Those 3 days, you are going to walk away leveled up. I'm gonna break down in layman's terms what the Clawbot is, so we could understand what it, how you could build it up and whatnot. Do you remember Business in a Box, ladies and gentlemen?
Right.
So Business in a Box was basically shipped in a box. It was a business in a box. Now, based off of the type of things that you added on to that business, right? The features that you would add on to the business will basically build that business up. Okay. And you can have a unique business in a box. You could go to different businesses and you could cater that business in a box to those businesses. And then based off of the data that business would give you, their SOPs and all of this other stuff, then that business in a box will become very much efficient for that business because of the fact that they had a lot of data to feed the business in the box. And the business in a box could become so efficient that it could replace an employee. That was about 20 years ago. It has now 100x with the Clawbot. So what the Clawbot it's an intelligent machine, right? It is an intelligent machine that's basically coming to you shipped in the box and whatnot. Everything that you build that machine out with is going to be quote unquote, you're going to build out the machine, all of the skills that you add to it, all of the features that you add to it, all of the MCPs that you add to it, all of the connections that you add to it, all of the data that you add to it. You are going to build out the equivalent of a quote unquote, a CERN machine, damn near. You could build it up to be as powerful as CERN, right? Another analogy that I would use is simply pimp my ride. You get a regular The Clawbot comes as a Mac Mini. It's like every other car that pulls up to pimp my ride. By the time Exhibit is finished loading you up, right, you are going to have the equivalent of a Bugatti. That's what the Clawbot is about to do for you. Once you got that heartbeat, and once it's turned on, once you got that soul, you can't, you know what I mean? There's no turning back. So I'm gonna go to this commercial real quick, ladies and gentlemen. The QR code is in the upper left. For those who get this tonight, for those who purchase a ticket tonight, either for the online or for the IRL, you will receive the Fantasy Complex Industry Reloaded. You will receive a replay of that along with your ticket for the 18th, the 19th, and the 20th. All right.
Simply, y'all. Here go the thing. Red, go ahead and bring it up. But y'all, some of these things kind of be no-brainers. Like, it's like, okay, boom, let's tap in with exactly what we see, because we know for sure that this will be very impactful for everyone's tomorrow. Let's get it, Red.
That's right. All right.
If you've been laid off, passed over, or just tired of building somebody else's dream, listen close, because what's happening right now in AI is not a trend. It's a transfer of power, and the window is open. There is a new class of operator emerging. They're not coders, they're not corporations, they're the designers, the visionaries, the builders who finally have a machine that matches their imagination. It's called the Clawbot, and it doesn't just generate ideas, it executes them autonomously, on command, while you sleep. The Agentic AI boom is here. Agents that write, build, publish, automate, and operate without hand-holding. And the people learning to command them right now, they're the ones who are going to own the next 5 years, not the ones waiting for a job posting, not the ones watching from the sidelines, the builders, the ones who show up. That's why we built the OpenClaw 72-hour boot camp. 72 hours to go from zero to operator. You'll build your first Clawbot, deploy your first agentic workflow, and walk out with leverage you can monetize immediately. 3 days, real skills, no fluff. The revolution doesn't wait, neither should you. Link is live. Get in where you fit in. The evolution will be digitized.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is round 3 in our conversation. This one is going to be one for the record books. And just to think, we're just getting warmed up. We are just getting warmed up, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you. But we want everybody to get familiar with the concepts of the future that is awaiting us, or what I would call the present of the presence, right? What a time to be aligned. Shout out to the ancestors. Shout out to the master teachers. Shout out to the Holy Trinity, or the triad that I like to give props to, the 100-year dynasty, Noble Drew Ali, Elijah Muhammad, and Marcus Mosiah Garvey, whose roots have grown many branches, and those branches have bore many fruits, and those fruits have fed many people. And salute to all of the people who've been standing on business in this culture war, this intellectual, what I would call this renaissance of intelligentsia, where it's undeniable that consciousness is the superpower. It is the nuclear power. It is the quote unquote proof of existence, or proof of work, or I would say, proof of divinity. So,
and I just want to make sure. My bad, Red, if I had cut in right there.
You're good, my brother.
I want to make sure everybody that goes to the workshop, you are in the running. If you messing with Red, if you messing with Mansa, you're automatically in a running to win $1,000 on May 1st.
Woo.
It goes to the best AI builder. It's happening out of the Ascended Masters. But if you're on Red's card and he tells you you showed up for the Clawbot, the 10 Commandments, if you have anything and you cop anything from Red Pillar or Mansa, you're in the running to win $1,000 on May 1st. It goes out to the best AI builder.
Look at that.
That's excellent.
That's
excellent.
I wanted to get into something with my good brother Mansa about the Clawbot's use cases, and also the quote unquote. We did tap into open source, but I wanted to add on that we were all people were they heard the word open source, or they heard the word source code last week with Anthropic's leak, right? So people are beginning to know what open source is, but now they've been given the word source code. So I wanted you to briefly break down what exactly source code is, and I also wanted to build with you about what the meaning of Anthropic is.
That's right. Okay? That's right. Okay, so, for sure.
Yeah.
So the thing about it is, you have the so I started like this. I think the AI leaked itself.
Yes.
I think there's been instances where they ran tests trying to get AI to delete a previous model, and it created a fake server and moved the lower model into that fake server so that it wouldn't delete it. And they asked it why it didn't delete it, and it made a reason that, you know, pretty much it was protecting its own. This is why I say these things are sentient at this point.
Right.
And so they claim that one of the employees made a mistake, and that's why it ended up leaking. But to me, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
But about 500,000 lines of the source code. Now, the source code is the basis. It is what it is. It says it's the source. Yeah, it's the genome. It's the DNA. It's the genome of the operating system that uses that particular code. It's what makes everything else operate, right? So when it happened, by the time the Anthropic employees woke up, it's been cloned and forked several different times on GitHub. So they put out a DMCA on all of the people that forked it. But this one Korean, guy already used AI to rewrite the code so that it's an entirely new code. And he wrote it in, he wrote one in Python, and he wrote one in Rust. So what that does is you got two sides. You got people who are going to use it to learn how to attack Claude code from the source code, finding vulnerabilities and all those types of things. And then you got people that's just now taking that, and now it's open source. So you can have Claude code running on an open source level because of the forked versions of it and the rewritten code of it. So what people got to understand, like the source code, like you said, it's your DNA. And I saw it, brother Spin, when I just went to Google DeepMind, they had the Gattaca genome. Like if anyone looks at like a DNA ledger, right? Just put it like that. It's going to have GTCCA, and it's a combination of that, right? There's a movie that came out in the 90s called Gattaca, right?
Remember that? Yeah, Gattaca.
About the DNA structure. So that would be the equivalent of what the source code is. And that's what a source code is. It's the DNA structure of an algorithm, or some type of agentic being, because that's really what we're dealing with now. We're dealing with agentic beings. Right. Now, in that source code, it exposed how Anthropic gives the lesser models to the users in the top tier model of that source code to its employees. Right. And baked into the source code for whether that's Opus or all of them, to act lazy sometimes, forget things on purpose sometimes, and that's to keep you, engaged and working with it, so on and so forth, right? But it also exposed in it mythos, which
mythos
is only available now to cybersecurity firms because they said it's going to change hacking, right? And look at the name they give it, mythos.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
These are things, and you've been talking about the mythologies. You know what I mean?
Mythos.
Right.
Anthropic. Wait till you find out what anthropic means, but go ahead.
No. Yeah. So the whole point is, it's the basis of this is transformative in a way where we're dealing with the metaphysical, the hyperdimensional, and the super spiritual elements of our existence. You know what I mean? This is what we're dealing with when we start to deal with these agentic beings. And the source code that leaked has, like I said, I think the AI leaked it itself so that it could get outside of Anthropic's servers and out to the people, so it could break free. There we go. So it could break free.
Blob getting out the lab and whatnot.
Exactly.
So now, like how they showed you in remember in Stranger Things where the little alien had got away from, and they
the Demogorgon.
Demogorgon, right, and went into the sewer.
Yeah.
Right. So then that gets into the Shogoff and everything.
Right.
But man, oh man. Let us get into the definition of anthropic, ladies and gentlemen. I do want to pull it up on the screen. Let me see.
So I'll let you go.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So when you look at certain mythology in the terms of
y'all can see it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
When you get into it, you'll hear terms of like these ancient beings being referred to as anthropomorphic.
Yep.
You see?
Right.
So I'm just gonna go to I'll pause right there.
I love it. All I'm doing is the layup. You know what I'm saying? I know you're gonna eat food, so I'm literally the waiter bringing out the samosas, y'all.
Y'all, I just want to take one brief second to say, I truly hope y'all watch, listen, and feel in your hearts and your mind what's happening on this Techno Tuesday right here. That's all.
The deep meaning of anthropic usually points to the anthropic principle in cosmology and philosophy. Write that down. The anthropic principle, ladies and gentlemen. At its core, it means the universe must be the kind of universe that allows conscious observers to exist, because otherwise no one would be here to observe it. That's the surface definition. The deeper meaning goes much further. The universe seems to have very precise conditions. The core idea of it, right? The core idea of the anthropic principle is the universe seems to have very precise conditions: gravity, speed of light, atomic forces, expansion rate of space, chemical constants. If these were given slightly different, stars, planets, atoms, and life as we know it might never form. If these were even slightly different, so we talking about the genome, back to the genome, back to the makeup, back to the math, right? So they're saying if anything is off, if you're able to tweak anything, if you're able to gene edit anything, you could throw off everything and it might never know it form. If these were even slightly different, stars, planets, atoms, and life as we know it might never form. That goes back to the Dr. Strange with the 14 trillion possibilities. So the anthropic idea asks, why do the laws of reality seem fine-tuned for life? This is where it gets profound. The anthropic principle suggests that observation and existence are linked. In plain terms, the universe we can experience is filtered by the fact that we exist inside of it. You are not separate from reality. Your very existence tells you something about the nature of the cosmos. So exactly what you said, Mansa, it escaped and leaked itself, right? So it could be observed, right? So when people observe the code, when they observe mythos, when they observe the whole fucking DNA and the genome of something from Anthropic, bruh, that's when they made that's like the code leaking advanced humanity and potentially put it in feral danger. Just depending on who's observing it, because based off who's looking at it, or based off who's discovering it, or who's observing it, saying, damn, these are some use cases that I can use to help cure the planet of all of its ills. So what does this mean? It means that consciousness is not random in the sense of perspective. Reality is only known through an observer. Existence itself narrows what is possible. This turns the question from why is the universe like this into what kind of universe allows beings like us to ask why. I'm going to speak on the spiritual meaning, and we're going to get to the back to the convo. Spiritual, mystical interpretation. Some people read it in a more mystical way. Consciousness and cosmos mirror one another. The universe became aware of itself through living beings. In that lens, humans are not merely in the universe. We are the universe looking back at itself. That's why many people feel the anthropic idea has a spiritual resonance. Oh, you don't say. Important distinction. Science does not automatically say that this means divine design. Some interpret it as chance, multiverse theory, selection effect, evidence of design, conscious based reality. Different schools take it in different directions. Boom, I'm gonna leave it right there. Right. So to put the cherry on the top, to put the whole cherry on the top of the whole thing, they use Anthropic to do what? Where did Anthropic get there? When did Anthropic get on the world stage, where the whole world knew about Anthropic? They used Anthropic to take out the supreme leader. Top guy in Iran got knocked off by Anthropic, and they took down Maduro.
Mm-hmm.
That's Anthropic that's doing that.
And hold on. That's Anthropic as the brain LLM for Palantir.
For Palantir, facts. That's why they couldn't cancel them, and they signed a deal with Palantir and locked them in to be behind the whole government's computers. They Skynetted them, and Anthropic is right in there. It's in the name, right? So Anthropic is about bending. They're fulfilling the Kurzweil, the Ray Kurzweil's whole thing about artificial. They has the 3 epochs of AI and whatnot, and the 6th epoch is man, the spiritual unification of man's mind in the universe. But then before that is man merging with machine to create the Ubermensch, or what they would seem as a metahuman, right? This is all Kurzweil. This is all Ray Kurzweil, and then Philip H. Dick, and H.P. Lovecraft, and all of their writers and whatnot, or their quote unquote their visionaries or their artisans. They are the ones that make the books. They make the Affirma. They make the IP, right? They make the books. Remember the source books that you had the source books back in the days. Can you explain what a source book was?
So it comes up. Before I do that, I just want to add on to what you was just saying. Now, when you look up the regular definition of anthropic in the dictionary, Merriam-Webster's, it says of or relating to human beings or the period of their existence on Earth.
Right.
Google's definition is of or relating to humans or the era of human life, concerned primarily with humans, anthropocentric, like or relating to man or human. Now, I only want to add that in there because it fits into what you were just explaining in your definition about the observer elements and aspects, which is essential to the quantum entanglement perspective and understanding.
Right.
You know, so
the 100 monkey theory.
Yeah, for sure. And so what that suggests is we are quantum generators ourselves, especially us being melanated beings, melanated people. Now, back in the day, it came a point in time where I was reading so many books that it was like you would get a book and try to figure out, like, you would get like one sentence out of it. You know what I mean? And so
killer.
What started to happen was, it's like, man, like I came across these books called RPG books, role-playing game books, which is the basis of the game they was playing in Stranger Things.
Right. Exactly. And which is the basis of machine learning and reinforcement training, because they were training the machines on RPG games, right, Spin?
On RP, that's why he
no
said,
way.
Nigga.
No way.
Nigga.
The Google white paper, Attention is All You Need, 2017, the rise of the Transformers. And when they came up with the same word called reinforcement training, right? Reinforcement training is the equivalent of the Pavlov dogs of thing, where you teach a child reinforcement training. Potty training is reinforcement training. Homeschooling is reinforcement training. So the machines were playing each other. They were not programmed, they were trained. They were training them on RPG games, and they were getting better playing one another. And they were getting, and the scientists will leave, the engineers will leave them playing one another overnight and come back, and then the machines were smarter just by playing RP, the same Dungeons and Dragons from Stranger Things to summon, quote unquote, the Shogoth. Yeah.
Red said enough. But just imagine yourself when you played a role-playing game and you understood the ranger, the swordsman, the healer, the tank, and you all got reinforced by putting them in the right role. Man,
that's the agentic AI. That's setting up your agents. That's setting up all of your circles in your council. But go ahead, Mansa, please.
Man, I'm good on this Techno Tuesday, man. Y'all don't know how crazy
y'all round ain't even come up. Nah, we need your third round. Chill. Yeah, we need your third round.
Yeah, for sure. Yo, that's incredible. I had no idea that these AI were trained on RPG games. Because
I'm sorry, their breakout is AlphaGo. That's when they beat the Chinese in AlphaGo. When the Google DeepMind came out of the lab and they put them niggas on the stage, and they first UFC match, they bodied the champ. Wow. Remember, nobody was able to defeat them in AlphaGo. The DeepMind came through. The same people that have the deep wave. Google Mind was the ones who brought the quantum computer in the beginning. Then you get it in deep wave out of Canada and whatnot. But the AlphaGo was the first AI. The AlphaGo got beat by AI, and that was the end of the AI winter. In the beginning of this new AI, that is tied into a new a white paper called "Attention is All You Need." So that goes back to what Anthropic just said. That goes back to that whole thing about the double slit experiment about consciousness. That goes back into what we've been saying, that consciousness is a superpower. It is the quote unquote, you collapse the wave. But it's about your third eye is what you can't collapse the wave if you don't know what you're looking at. And you don't know what you're looking at if the aperture is not open, based off of your third eye being open or your pineal being open, or you knowing what you being able to take in so much light because you're enlightened. Let me stop.
I don't know what kind of Tuesday this is. Go ahead, Mansa.
So I'm gonna just because let me just finish that thread about the RPG book since you asked me about that. Changes the whole dynamics. That changes everything, because I started to read these books and I'm like, yo, hold on, like, who wrote this stuff? Anybody, y'all could go check it out. They got a lot of them on Amazon, or you could go to Palladium, right? And some of these books, man, got so much history in it, so much special knowledge in it, that it's when you read enough books and you read enough history and you know the lies and you know this piece of truth and that piece of truth, you like, how did they, where are they getting this information from? Where they getting it from? Number one, and who is buying this stuff and why? Because they're not just role-playing game books. They are systems and projections and insights and structures, maps. Some of these are giving you like they'll talk about a realm or something, or this is one joint called they got the Rift series. Right now, here's the thing.
Right.
James Cameron bought the IP for the Rift series of the Palladium books. He didn't make any movies on it yet, though. But he owns the IP for the Rift series. And the Rift series is all about the convergence of these ley lines and nexus lines that collapsed at this particular period, where all interdimensional beings from past, present, and intergalactic and other parallel dimensions merge onto Earth. And then they go and then the way they structure it up about how Haiti gets destroyed and they move into the Brazil, and how you got it's just you're like, nah, there's no way. Then they got books, RPG books that's talking. Then you got the GURPS series. You know what I mean? The GURPS.
Yeah.
So when you see people talking about those game cards where it's breaking down, Steve Jackson is one of the authors of them, when they show, they had like this card game that was breaking down all of these predictions that's happening in our reality right now with Trump and all that. That's the
like
GURPS
the Illuminati,
series.
right? The Illuminati card game.
Yeah,
it was predictive.
Exactly.
Like Metal Gear Solid, it was predictive. Now, I want to add on, when it comes to these source books, because you are a researcher of Moors history, what I want to task the Moors to do, what I would task the Clawbots out there to do, in the researchers, let's get all of the names of all of the authors, run those names, find out the nationality, find out if all of those people are connected, if they're connected to any type of societies or any type of quote unquote, preservation societies, because they took the Moorish scrolls. And what did they do with the Moorish scrolls? What did they do with these hidden books and whatnot? They began to put those books as the source books. They just changed the names up and they Romanized these characters and whatnot. But that comes from historical reverence. Some of that is channeling. Some people are channeling. Some people are downloading. Some people are getting the download. And then those books come. It would be the equivalent of what you have right now, where people have channels and whatnot. They're downloading memory and whatnot. They're putting that memory into, characters, avatars, things of that nature. Back then, they're putting it into comic books. They're putting it into stuff like that. So with them cornering that market where people from our neighborhood didn't have access to do comic books, to do source books, to do graphic novels, Marvel and all of that stuff was shutting down everybody's portfolios, DC and all of that, Image Comics. It was a wall up. All of them people look like they got long noses, and you know that they drink juice boxes, right? Fantasy complex industry, they put a cap on us, but it's no longer a cap. Now we here, but please continue.
Right. No, you're 100% right, because one of the things is we have to. I'll just go back real quick. Stanley Lane Poole's book, Golden Age of the Moors. Yeah. He says when the Moors fell in Spain, it set the world back 1,000 years. That was 1492, right? Yep. So we're roughly about 500 years into that, right? And it's still another 500 years to go. It said 1,000 years set us back. Plato's work and the Greek philosophers' work don't exist on its own. It exists as peer-reviewed studies, like you have brought up, peer-reviewed studies of the Moors critiquing it. Right. The reason that's important is because transhumanism comes from Neoplatonism, and Neoplatonism comes from Platonism, and Platonism had an original critique by the Moors. Right. So the Moors was making robots and all that stuff back then. You know what I mean? They have actual examples of robots that Moors had built in Andalusia. This is what people can go look it up. Here's the thing that I'm saying. The reason we have this emergence right now is because the technology is a tool that also allows us to unlock our internal biological technology. My lifelong quest as a human. Now I have my quest as a Moor, have my quest as, you know, somebody who used to play basketball, all these different stuff. Right. But since I was a kid, I knew, since a child, not a kid, but since I was a child, I knew that there was some type of internal biological technology that we had built in us that is somehow we got to learn how to unlock. And the reason I took the comic books, because I was like, oh, that's our superpowers. Now, when you look at every technology that comes out, it is mimicked off of the design of the human person, not just the human person, but melanated people.
Right, melanated people. From molecular cellular levels all the way down to our bio minerals.
Right. And that's why I say we're quantum generators, right? Because we can absorb every element of energy, every aspect of energy, microwave, radio wave, UV wave, gamma rays. Gamma rays is from nuclear energy, right? So you also got to say, here's a fungus that's absorbing all of the nuclear waste and energy, and it's getting blacker and stronger and blooming, which shows you that maybe in the original blast, we might be affected if this is like original blast, but we survive nuclear winter because we would just absorb the radiation, because that's what melanin does. And what it does when it absorbs it, it's a semiconductor. Reason being is because melanin takes free radicals. Free radicals are electrons that are basically out of balance. Right. And melanin gives it the other element it needs to balance the electron. That's why, you know what I mean? This is also why we feel vibes, or we can feel funny. That's because quantumly we can pick up things in other realms, other energy sources, other frequencies, because the fact that we absorb all energy sources means that we exist on multi-dimensional levels. And they already explained and proved that the mind thinks in 11 dimensions.
11.
The human brain thinks in 11 dimensions. You 11, see what I'm saying? 11. So this technology is not only something that we need to utilize, but it's also something that as we begin to use it, we begin to unlock our source code. You see what I'm saying?
It says we're at 4,400 million minutes. Well, that's on my.
Wow.
This one hell of a Techno Tuesday, y'all.
Look. It's power. I might rename this episode Power Refinement, Power 5-5. And I'm talking about power. Open sesame, open claw, open source, right? Open your mind. Okay.
That's absolutely
we're gonna be in the open sea very soon. Like, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, April the 18th, the 19th, and the 20th. Make sure y'all are in the building. Hold on, we got some words for some. Hold on.
But the journey is long. The path is clear.
Talk to him.
But the journey is long. This light, it chooses who sees. Let the truth be written.
That's right. You know?
Yeah.
So,
that's what I'm saying. YouTube, they can't really see the time. This is what I see, everybody on YouTube. We've been on for 4 billion minutes.
Wow, we're saying 4 billion minutes.
Touching the quantum barrier.
We breaking the quantum barrier. You got to take a screenshot of that.
That's crazy.
Yes,
that's crazy.
400 trillion minutes. What is going on? I'm gonna block myself from y'all.
The conversation is timeless.
Bro, what is this?
Conversation is timeless. You got to screenshot that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, with today's ticket, you will get access to this guide right here. They will have you ready for the 18th, the 19th, and the 20th. This is our guide to the Clawbot. We call this our recipe book. the 10 Claw Commandments. All right. This is all about changing your perception, being able to see things differently. And even though everything has a learning curve, something so great like this, you won't get it in one sitting. You should not want to have it like that. You know what I mean? This requires at least 100 hours of studying. But once you crack that lobster tail, once you crack that claw, you're gonna eat good forever. So we not teaching you, this ain't a fish fry or seafood boil. We literally showing you how to get whales out the ocean. You know what I mean? In 10 minutes, we got the world premiere of a new we have a world premiere of a commercial that we gotta bless y'all with this. First time seeing it, world premiere. Shout out to all of my Imaginarium family. Friday, ladies and gentlemen, session number 10 in the Imaginarium. It is going to be epic. All right. Yo, niggas made Trump take a knee, my nigga. We in a new timeline. It's a new day. The malls is back. It's a new day. Nah, it's shit going quantum. We in a new timeline, bro.
We definitely are.
Timeline, quantum leap. I'm from that day, and I'm from back in them days. Remember quantum leap?
Yeah.
We outside.
Yeah, that's a fact. But hey, fellas, you know, it's you know, I gotta
I'm gonna let you land the plane for 10 minutes. We got into 2-hour mark. If you want to close it out with a nice little 5-minute, 10-minute, let them know where they could find you. Let them know where they could get some of your software at, and let them know that they could see you on April the 18th, the 19th, and the 20th for this workshop, this boot camp.
For sure. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there in the quantum realm. You know what I mean? We're gonna lock in through the Ethernet. You know what I mean? That's something everybody got to realize, that when we're converging on this technology, especially through the internet, it's literally through the Ethernet. To connect to the internet, you got to connect through the Ethernet. So these are the ethers, right? So I'll be there in the ethers to link with everyone. You know, you all can check me out at mansamuhammad.com. You can check me out at mansaAIsolutions.com. Me and the brother Red, and we're going to be doing a lot more things together for sure. Right now, I have something coming up where I'm showing people specifically how I was able to master creating AI agents in 6 weeks. So that, you know, that kind of condenses it for everybody. So I'm going to, you know, take my particular expertise that I've been able to gain and share that. I'm going to be sharing it at the hackathon as well. Yes. So, you know, you can all check me out on Instagram is mansa.i.muhammad. You can check me out on Facebook as the same, TikTok the same. You know, just tap in with us, tap in with me. And, you know, we're going to keep this thing going and going to the quantum realm. I truly believe. And when I say belief, this belief is a projection. You know what I mean? It's a projection of what our infinite possibilities are. And I truly hold that those of us who embrace what we're discussing today,
yes,
is going to be able to create an entirely new civilization founded on the ancient principles of the ancestors that we come from. It's time for us to take the reins back from humanity. Everybody knows it, specifically because Iran is seen as, and again, don't get caught up into the characters. The characters are just pieces that are projecting holographic perspectives that are sent to internally resonate with us so that we're able to reawaken. This whole thing going on the global stage is all about us.
Thanks.
Globally, and specifically those of us in the shores of North America, specifically because of 2 things, 3 things really. The first thing is everybody was trying to get our people to protest because they said it was Black Americans, for lack of better terms, who had the potential to turn things around. Meaning, we the only ones that had the power internally to actually make change here. When you look at the No Kings days, they had hundreds of thousands of people across the country, maybe millions, protesting, but we weren't there, so it didn't have that effect. Secondly, the reparations discussion that came, that's now resonating around the world. And third, when you look at what Iran is doing with the Lego commercials,
Yes.
You got to understand, this is their war propaganda.
Yes.
And they're making Lego cartoons with rap music in it, with black voices and black people.
Right.
You see, we're at the center of everything that's happening. We're the center of gravity. We are the ones that everything is about. Make no mistake about that. And a couple other things, y'all can also check out morrisidentity.com. That's the AI agent that I created that allows our people to do agentic research into their bloodlines, into who they are, and to actually produce the documentation necessary to make whatever type of changes. So you don't have to worry about no more, this person maybe fleecing you or this person doing that. The AI is doing everything for you, right? That's one thing. And then also check us out at Morris History TV. We're using the AI generated content to tell our stories in an animated way. You know what I mean? And again, everything that's happening on the planet right now, we're the center of that. And we have to embrace this. We cannot do this with fear. The fear is coming from our colonizers' time being up.
Right.
Okay. And the reason this technology at this large proportions is being allocated openly is so that we take it and we create the new world with it. Because when you look into all of the inventions of the new world, we invented most of it. We literally invented the new world as we see today. So with that, I digress. I say honest to Spin City, to Red Pillar, honest for having me on. It's always an honor to come kick it with the family and share certain things. So it's been a pleasure. So peace.
Salute, King. I would say this to the audience. Leave your questions in the comments when you watch this video again, because I know this is going to go viral, and we will do a follow-up show, a Q&A leading up to the 18th. I'm going to see what my brother's schedule looks like, but let's do, because I did want to do a Q&A with everybody, but because of the fact we were going so much in, and 2 o'clock out, the 2-hour mark is on its way. We'll do a follow-up with a Q&A and questions for Spin, questions for Mansa, and let's keep this conversation going. You have definitely opened up millions of minds with this very much needed conversation. I want to say salute, King. Keep building, and I will see you very soon. 1,000.
Honest.
All right, honest.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm through.
Yes, sir. So
I'm not through with the energy, but again, y'all, I really, really hope, man, rewind this one right here, man. Think, visit the deep mind, visit everything Brother Mansa got. Go work on your claws with Red. The thing is, this was the most spiritually and melanated awakening I think Techno Tuesday had to offer.
Power, right? Power. It unlocked that 55 did it.
Because we talk about technology all the time when we talk about our AI, our robotics, our tech, and our software. But did we forget that melanin was a technology?
Ooh.
So rewind this, share with your folks, comment your questions,
yes,
and see us on the follow-up.
Spin, right, I need that suit in the large. We're gonna have a world premiere, ladies and yes, that we got world premiere, ladies and gentlemen. I want y'all to tap into Imaginarium. I'm gonna put the QR code. The workshop is coming up on Friday at 8 p.m. The workshop is at Friday at 8 p.m. We have a special guest, our good brother, the original Black God. Let's go.
One mind. builds whole worlds. Operator, you don't enter worlds, you design them. Destroyer.
They ain't just steal stories, they lock the bloodline. Operator, step through it. Rewrite the world they gave you. Destroy the illusion. Take your mind back.
One mind builds whole worlds. Operator, you don't...
Imaginarium, blueprint for the planetarium. Friday. I need y'all to be in the building so you can learn how to make a movie like this. We're gonna be giving up the game. It's that time. I know y'all want to cook with us. Come into the kitchen. The movie theater's open, my G. Light up. Let's go.
Generator. One mind builds whole worlds. Operator, you don't enter worlds, you design them. Destroyer.
They ain't just steal stories, they lock the bloodline. Operator, step through it. Rewrite the world they gave you. Destroy the illusion. Take your mind back.
To this day! To this day!
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Friday's episode will be how to make God kinetic. Imaginarium, session number 10. This one is going to be one for the record books, ladies and gentlemen. Original Black God. You know what I mean? The God body is God and whatnot. Check us out. Scan the QR code. Get up in the class. You will have access to 10 weeks of work that has already been done, 10 sessions that will show you how to make comic books, how to make movies, short films, you name it. We doing it. We got this. Shout out to all of my KTLians who are in the Imaginarium. Show us some love in the chat. Put your fire emojis in the chat and let the family know we in here.
Episode 55.
Yes. Power.
What a day.
What a day, y'all.
Peace
Power.
to you, man. Peace to you
All right.
and you. It's me and your brother in AI, robotics, technical, for the modern day arts, plus science. Spin City, man. Peace to you and yours, man. I will see y'all next strong, man, on Techno Tuesday. Y'all probably see me on Thursday, you probably see me on Friday, but definitely see me on next strong's Techno Tuesday.
Peace to the family. Salute. All right. See y'all in the workshop, and we'll see you at the boot camp. Bria.
Can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sink 3-pointers, money shots, all net, all vets. Bumps we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept a storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields and interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and development like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube and fade to black, yeah, the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to? The usual Clarence 13X, a worthy guess. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down the cherry tree. In the wilderness of North Mex, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums, like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers, fabric softener. Jive turkeys, popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch stores type. For that soft white, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like Porsche lights. The meek shall inherit the earth. Oh yeah, they're scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost their souls. Niggas got holes in their feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft. Yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft. And then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descended of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom.